working there. So.
Happy Monday to you guys. It's another week and yet another year and another month. Welcome to the Plug Talk Sports live show. This is episode 148. The usual crew is here. Myself, Danny. We got Janka and we got Brandon. Oh man, I can't even lie to you. We were backstage right before this countdown was going on and the show was about to start. I was kind of like just slapping myself a bit to get myself together here. It's been a long day today. Mondays are usually very long, but no better way to cap it off, right, than to talk some sports here on the pod. So let's go into our usual shameless plugs and plugs of the week. We're going to start with bad news first this week. So we'll start off with Janka. Talk to me, man, Mr. Positive over here. Never has anything bad to say about his day or anything in general. He saw nothing. It's all sunshine and rainbows in Janka's life.
This week, I actually kind of have a problem.
Oh, okay.
Okay, first time.
I know Brandon's gonna. I think I sent it to you. I don't know if I remember though. It was yesterday, and the Yankees were playing the Toronto Blue Jays, and they walked Aaron Judge 3 times in the same day just so that he wouldn't be at bat. And I think that's a bad look for MLB in general, knowing that. Even though he's the home run leader, you're just not giving him any at bats because you're just worried he's gonna hit a home run on you. It's kind of not entertaining for the people that are there to watch the game, and it kind of hurts the product in a way. So it's like
this is your bad.
It's that, bro. It's not entertaining, bro. People go there to see Aaron Judge to go hit a home run.
Hey, no, bro. Listen. Next week,
if this is the bad for Yankee fans. Bro, if this is the bad for Yankee fans, it sounds like bliss for Marlins.
It's unbelievable.
Let me put this into your perspective. Let's say you, Daniel, are watching a Dodgers game, and they purposely keep walking Ohtani or Mookie Betts, and they don't want to give him any sort of at bat. Wouldn't you?
He's getting on base. You ever watch Moneyball? Gets on base.
Bro, but still though, if you're in the running for the most home runs in the league, though.
Yeah, no. I mean, I could see it a little bit because I remember when like Stanton was in that conversation for a while, and I was like, get this guy at bat as soon as possible. So I mean, I kind of see it.
No, what else you're supposed to do? Throw the bat at him or something? I don't know.
We're not gonna strike out.
Brandon, give us. I hope there's nothing bad or serious, but give us a better bad.
It's a good bad.
Well, thank you for the first part of that to clear it up. But honestly, there is something really bad. I've gone probably the longest I've ever gone without a haircut. It's been about 3 weeks. I'm still waiting on a check I'm supposed to have. And again, like you ever have like those moments where like you're waiting for like a specific payday to do a specific purchase?
Yep.
Now, for those who don't know, this is my first time, getting a haircut since moving from Gainesville, where I used to live for like 2 years. I totally forgot about Miami prices.
Yep.
I totally forgot. It's not a $20 haircut. It's like a $40, and we're talking about a head and beard included. So I'm starting to grow out the mullet a little bit in the back. Did my own little experiment on the sides. Obviously did not work out. So the bad news is I'm wearing a hat all week. That's basically what it is. So at Dolphins training camp, if you see me with some Carhartt hat or just some sort of monstrosity on the head, just know it's not a shell. It's actually my hair. So,
are you saying I'm going to see you with a hat on Wednesday?
Most likely. All
right. You guys, I'm going to videotape this. I'm going to try to take the hat off.
Don't see. What we don't need is that. the content we need is on the field, not off the field. This is. I'll be wearing a helmet if anything to get better prepared for. Strapped on, ready to go.
He's sitting at the top with a Dolphins helmet.
Exactly. Above the retro one. This is the only good one.
This man said he wasn't getting a haircut. The Celtics won, so this is it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's gonna have to be today. Actually, you guys don't know. There was a attack on a U.S. servicemen and women base in Iraq, and there's reportedly some of them are injured and some might be killed. So that's something I want to say. It's obviously terrible, and I support our military forces heavily. So prayers to them and their families. They're in harm's way and protecting our country. So. That's never good. So I want to use that as my bad to acknowledge that situation and to honor them who might have been injured or even killed in that situation. So, yeah. Jaka, you want to start us off with good? Give us something interesting.
I'm gonna bring up some college football since everybody's been like, we've been waiting for it for months.
Here we go, Brian. Here we go. The Canes are going to the national championship.
Bro, I hope so. I'm gonna get blasted.
Oh my god. Let's win the conference first. Let's win the conference.
First. Shut up, Brandon. Last time you did that. Don't do it to me again. No. Shout out to Andre Johnson and Devin Hester for making the Hall of Fame. So we gotta give a big shout out to them. Legends in the game. So we gotta rep it.
That's it?
No, yeah.
Hey,
that's a good one though. That's a good one though. Honestly, Hester, best returner there is in the game, let alone from South Florida, Miami.
Yeah.
But best news for me this week. A few things have been going good. Jason Tatum's starting to start some games in the U.S. Actually, you know what? I am going to do that. Best thing, the women's 3-on-3 team winning bronze, even though the men's did not end up, I don't know how. Honestly, I wish we were talking about that a little bit because how on earth do we not have Carmelo Anthony, ISO Joe, like NBA guys on the 3-on-3 basketball stuff? We got Jimmy Fredette at 30-something years old over there. But
who was our three on? Like, who were our three?
I have no idea.
We had Jimmy, obviously. We had a guy who used to play, actually, believe it or not, Gators basketball. Got a master's degree, I guess, in like engineering or whatever. And the other ones, take a guess. I have no clue. But what I will tell you, though, is that the men's team is the only one that didn't have any like current professional players or even collegiate players. But yes, the women's team, they were able to get a medal, bronze. United States leading it 20 or more over China right now, currently in overall medals. And I think it's one down in gold medals.
Yeah.
Compared to the Chinese right now. But either way, though, basketball is on the horizon ahead. And honestly, going to this Olympics, I was kind of scared internationally how the competition will be so close to us. Hasn't been close at all 5-on-5. 3-on-3 was a little bit of an issue, but the ladies got the bronze, and I like that.
Shout out to Haley Van Lith.
Van Lith, exactly that.
Shout out to
as a college player.
Yep. For me, it's gonna have to be a recent trip to Chicago. 7th time seeing Madrid in person. Wasn't the result we wanted. It was 1-0 loss to AC Milan. But we did miss like 8 regular players that are usually on our squad. So there was a lot of youngsters out on the field. Unfortunately, there was one who stepped on the field. I forgot his first name. His last name is Palacios. He stepped on the field for about 10 minutes and tore his ACL and was sent back to Madrid. So that's unfortunate. But it was a good time, man. Had Chicago deep dish pizza. We'll say it will make you go to the restroom. So just make sure you are near a restroom. I had the fortune of having the option to walk it off. So it was good. It was great overall. Chicago was great. It's a great walking city. We did the day of the game, actually. We decided to walk from our hotel through the park to Navy Pier and back. and that was overall 12 miles. So it was, we got back to the room and we crashed for a couple hours before we went out before the game. So lots of walking, but it was a great time. Enjoyed my time in Chicago. Anyways, this is going to be great. Top 5 sports cities is our first topic of the night. Who wants to take a crack at this first?
Oh, I've been waiting on this one all day. I wait on this one all day.
The honors.
Okay, I'm gonna first start off by doing a little bash real quick.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just make it very clear: Philadelphia is not in my top 5 at all. I know that might be a big but like Northeast, historic franchise stuff like that. Yeah, historic in what way? The fan base. I mean, you got the Philadelphia Eagles fans, walking around the Lincoln, and it's, they either get in the stadium or they're fighting someone before even entering the seats. And then you have Philadelphia sports where it's like the Flyers and, the 76ers all sharing Wells Fargo. Well, unlike the bank, it's not very consistent. They got all these big prize money guys, and you do what with them? You make it out in the first round early in the playoffs. It's not really, key on that. And as per usual, a New York team is usually on top of them early on in their exit. So I don't have Philadelphia up there at all.
Okay.
Again, Phillies in their own selection. They're a good team now. But
you don't know about the Union, bro. You don't know about the Union.
Yeah, you don't know about
the Union. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, it's another Philadelphia thing. But yeah, I think top 5 though. There's going to be some shockers in this one. Starting at number 5, I think Pittsburgh deserves some favor to it. I think the Pirates fan base has definitely been a sleeper, and now with the guy they got out of LSU, Paul. I mean, he's obviously showing. Yeah, that guy. He's been kind of uplifting that franchise nationally, and their fan base nationally is getting some attention. Steelers Nation has obviously been there since the 70s and beyond that. So I think Pittsburgh as well as Pitt. See, a fan base as well, collegiately, West Virginia and Pitt, that backyard rivalry, very underrated. Always prime time for me whenever that goes on in October. So I got them at 5. Number 4, I got Los Angeles. Los Angeles, obviously, Lakers, Dodgers, for some reason, Clippers, and now Chargers. So I think Los Angeles, a lot of history there. But at the same time, a lot of teams are not originally from there, right? Yeah. Dodgers, Brooklyn, Lakers. 5 of those championships was in Minneapolis. So, do what you want with that information. But still a great fan base. California's team, really the team of the West. Majority of those Lakers and Dodgers being out there, Los Angeles. Number 3, I actually got Miami at number 3. And this is a newer thing. I know there's a little confusion there, but I think in recent years,
bro, we suck.
Not entirely, though. Hear me out. I think the way that Miami is now, it's progressed to a level of it's either a toxic fan base that's dedicated solely to winning, in the mixture of we want winners and we actually care a little bit now. Because beforehand, it was like, oh, they're winning games? Okay, let's go. I don't even know a player on the team, but let's go ahead. Miami has now got a championship in every single professional sport now, with the Florida Panthers recently winning the Stanley Cup. Early 2000s, that was when the Marlins were on top. Early in their first 10 years of existence, Miami Heat obviously have considered one of the top 10 of all time rosters on a basketball team ever. And then, of course, the Miami Dolphins, undefeated season. The fan base, and let alone professional sports in South Florida, is less than 100 years old. And I honestly, personally believe we've gotten to the point where, it's hard not to be into sports and living in South Florida. That's what I think is what it means now being a sports city here. And then the obviously is 2, and Boston and New York. But to most of you guys' shock and surprise, I got Boston at 2. I think Red Sox, I think Celtics, obviously New England.
Bruins.
Even though they play out in Foxborough and Springfield or wherever, but still New England. I think a lot of that city is based solely on that identity, right? The team is the identity of the area. The team is Boston. And I think there's no way to really replicate that unless you're from there. And that's just Boston sports. And then New York, the thing about New York, I love the fan base because it's not only a fan base that like knows what they're talking about, but it's a fan base that shits. My apologies. They crap on the team, but they do it because they know what the hell they're talking about. I remember I went to a Knicks game and I was like talking about like Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle minutes with a random guy. I probably part of some union or whatever, some 40-something-year-old guy. I remember talking about like, oh, but Julius Randle, he goes inside and say, oh, but he's not doing much. He got 35 from the field, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, but they know their stuff and they care. So I think if you're paying like over $3,000 for rent and you still want to go to a game where the cheapest ticket is at least $250 against Detroit, I can't even bash you there. The only issue I have with them is just the fact that, include the Brooklyn Nets a little bit. But besides that, hard to hate. So that's kind of my 5 there. Long spill, but I think it was worth it.
Okay. Jockey, you want me to go or do you want to go?
I'll do it. I mean, why not?
Okay.
I'm going to go from 1 to 5, and then I'll give an honorable mention.
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with Brandon. New York and then Boston.
Yep.
3. Did you have LA at 3? Or would you put LA
I
at 4?
had LA at 4.
Yeah.
I'm put LA at 3. I am gonna put Philly at 4. And then at 5, I'm gonna put 5. I'm gonna put Dallas at 5. I don't know why, but I have a Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to them. The Mavericks, they're doing really good. They've been coming up.
Listen, with the amount of times people crap on our team, they're still loyal.
They're loyal. They're actually fun to listen to on if it's a sports debate show or whatever. They're always in the media. They're fun to talk about. There's drama everywhere. Every season there's always something. So I got to include them at 5. And then Miami is nowhere near the honorable mention because it's either they win or we don't show up. And listen, it's tough.
That's true.
I don't know who honorable mention. Man, you know what? I'll put San Francisco up.
I didn't even think about that one. The Bay Area, that's a good one.
Man, you guys gonna be shocked. Like, you guys gonna be shocked with my list.
Bro, if you put Miami number 1, I'm walking off this thing right now.
No, you're not. You guys are not gonna expect what my number 1 is. So I'm gonna go 5-1. At number 5, I have Dallas. I'm agreeing with Jonka there, just for the reasons. I mean, man, the Rangers, the Stars, the Mavericks, FC Dallas, the Cowboys. Those people show out. They really do. They really show out, and they love their sports. They love their trucks, and they love their sports, and of course the barbecue. That's always a great plus. So I'm putting them at 5. At number 4, none of you guys mentioned them, but I have to say Chicago. Come on, man. Like, have you guys not seen Cubs fans? Cubs fans are some of the most loyal. Did you not see what it meant to them winning that World Series? Those people showed up all those years. They weren't like Marlins fans. They didn't show up to anything. They showed up all those years. The same thing with the Bears. The Bears are terrible, but those fans still show up. Those poor people. So I gotta put Chicago at 4. At number 3, I'm gonna have to go with Boston.
Okay.
I think Boston has, as much as I hate them, in almost every single, probably the most respectable one's the Red Sox. But as I hate them in probably almost every single sport, that includes the Patriots, Jonka, I gotta give it to them. They're passionate. They're very passionate people. They show up and they're loud, even when they're losing. I mean, I remember this. I don't know what year this was, Brandon, but the Celtics were about to be eliminated. I think it was by the Heat. And it wasn't in recent times. I think it might have been the Big 3 era. Celtics were about to be eliminated. Boston fans were chanting, "Let's go Celtics," until the final buzzer, and they were about to be eliminated. So that's passion right there. Number 2 is Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia fans are very, very intense and very passionate about their sports. I think that they get it's true, they do fight each other. That is true. But they're very passionate about their sports, and they show up. Saturday afternoon, let's grab some beers. Let's go to they don't even care what it is. Sure, a Union game? I don't care. I haven't watched a Union in like years, but let's go. And they'll go and they'll scream their head off in freezing cold weather. until the game is over. They really do care about their sports up there. So I gotta say Philadelphia at number 2. Now at number 1, you guys are not gonna think
If
when
you
I'm
give me a Canadian team, I swear to God.
No, it's in the United States.
Okay. Oof.
You guys are not. You guys, I'm telling you, you're not gonna guess it. At number 1, I have Seattle. I think Seattle, first of all, when they had basketball, they were really into it. They took it away, and they're desiring to have basketball back. Sounders in the MLS, they probably have one of the best fan bases in the entire MLS. We're talking about these people march for an entire mile down the streets of Seattle to their stadium, and they fill an entire NFL stadium up for just MLS soccer. So that's pretty impressive. You got the Seahawks. That's one of the loudest stadiums, not only in this country, but in the world. Those people can get loud up there. And we got WNBA, I believe, up there in Seattle as well. So I got to go Seattle 1. I think so far, I think they're the most intense, loud, passionate sports fans in the country that I have seen and have experienced. So that's gonna be my top 5. I bet you guys weren't expecting that one.
I wasn't expecting Chicago at all in there, man. I mean, I watched a few White Sox games, and I haven't seen a lot of people in there. So,
yeah, but look, I'll be honest with you. I don't really think Chicago is a White Sox town. I mean, you go to Chicago, and like everyone talks to you about the Cubs. No one really mentions the White Sox ever.
yeah,
It's the same thing with LA, really, right? Everyone talks about the Lakers. Everyone's like, yeah, well, we got the Clippers too. They play here too, sometimes.
yeah, but I mean, at least they try as a franchise. I mean, I look at the Bulls right now; they haven't tried since 2001. So,
hey, but the people still show out though. They care about the Bulls.
Yeah, they care. It's that or Blackhawks. So,
screw the Blackhawks.
And hey, let me tell you, those people, whenever a team wins a championship, there'll be millions upon millions at Grant Park or Millennium Park to celebrate a championship right there on the side of Lake Michigan. So they're the real deal. I think they're the real deal too. They'll be there near porta potties after eating some deep dish pizza. So that's my top 5. But no complaints. You guys have no complaints about Seattle being number 1?
No, not at all. I mean, not at all. I mean, again, very enthusiastic. Obviously, they're praying for the NBA to come back there. So, I mean, it's a good fan base. It's hard to beat them down.
Yeah. All right. So here's another list that we've got going here tonight. Top 5 quarterbacks entering this new NFL season, and we're ranking this based off of performance from the past year. Who wants to take a? Well, you know what? I'll take a crack at this one first because I think you guys might have some discrepancies in my list that you'll be like, you're really putting them there. So I'll go from 5 to 1. At number 5, I'm gonna have Dak Prescott. We're talking about a guy who was second in the running for MVP last year. I'm not going to lie. He did have a good year. He really did. He really did have a good year. Aside, obviously, from that Green Bay game in the playoffs. Throughout the regular season, I mean, he had an outstanding year, and he was getting the job done. He looked really good to me. So I'm going to have him at number 5. At number 4, as whoa! Jocko, what's going on over there?
My grandma's enthusiastic.
Voila.
She really liked Dak Prescott. That's why she gave you a kiss. She heard Dak Prescott's name.
She felt bad for you.
All right, number 4. I don't know if this may shock you, but Matthew Stafford. I'm gonna have him at number 4. The switch with Jared Goff and stuff like that. I think he's done better than Jared Goff. I'm not gonna lie to you. I won't lie to you. So I'm going to have him at number 4. At number 3, Brandon's going to hate me for this one. At number 3, I'm going to have Josh Allen. Listen, I saw the face already. I saw the face
No,
already.
I mean, like again, it's not. Look, I'm a hater of the Bills, right? Unbiasedly a hater of the Bills, but I mean, I can see Josh Allen there. I might have him myself in top 3, top 5, top
Hey,
whatever. But
he
it's
comes
it's
up
hard to
clutch.
beat the kid though. He's good. He
He
is. He
comes up
does.
clutch. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. I have to put him at number 2. And at number 1, of course, Patrick Mahomes. You can't deny it. Won the Super Bowl. I know Jonka hates him, but I can't deny it, man. You can't deny it. Like, he's just good. He's just so good. He don't have a dad bod, but he's good, man. He's that good. So that's my top 5.
John, do you want to go? Want me to go? Okay, because I know you guys are gonna like be a little bit held back a little bit.
Boy, if you tell me to swear on
No,
God,
okay. Spoiler.
I'm giving
Spoiler. There's no.
guarantee Tua is on that list.
I guarantee he's not on that list. But I will tell you something that's gonna make Danny might itch a little bit when I say this name. But this is because of last season performance and what is expected out of him and his team coming to the next year. Number 5, I got Jordan Love coming in, breaking top 5. I expect him and the Green Bay Packers to be really good this season, especially as one of the highest paid guy, if not the highest paid guy at his position, and his ability to do things with the ball and extend plays. I think it will be somewhat of a Pro Bowl year for Jordan Love as his first full-time starter under a new contract. 4th, I got Josh Allen actually coming in from Buffalo. I think it'll be Josh Allen's show all day with the Bills. Unfortunately, one-man show is not enough to really win a lot. So I'm not saying it's going to foreshadow wins, but Josh Allen, he will be one of the guys that's going to be looked at as a top 3, top 4 guy quarterback in the NFL. And number 3, this will be a shock as well, but this is going to be a big year for Detroit. And I expect the same thing for Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff with Detroit Lions winning the division for the first time in God knows how long, let alone making it all the way down to the NFC Championship game on the road. I mean, there's nothing else you could have asked from last season except for winning the division again, pushing your individual stats towards a bigger contract now, and maybe a long-term deal for Detroit. So I think Jared Goff will go off of that and as well go off this year. At number 2, I got Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Super talented. I seen the clips with Kadarius Toney coming out of training camp, but at the same time, I'm just thinking to myself, I mean, does he need to do any more insane stuff to really push the envelope? Will he be asked to do that with the season coming up soon? I don't think so. I think it's going to be more of a cruise control Kansas City team. I don't think he's going to be a coming off the bat type of quarterback to open up the year. But who will be Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. The South Florida kid, the Pompano kid, will go out there running, of course, that pistol formation, which whatever wide receiver he has left over. And frankly, they should have made it all the way to the Super Bowl if it wasn't for the lackluster offense. But nothing will be lackluster about the offense with Lamar Jackson coming into the year. So those are my top 5 guys. Lamar Jackson, a South Florida kid on top, of course.
Okay. Respectable. All right. Jonka?
all right. I'm
say Daily Zap or something like that.
no,
bro.
relax.
We love Western Kentucky, man. We love Western Kentucky.
I'm gonna go from 1 to 5 since everybody's going 5 to 1. I'm gonna start. Obviously, the MVP.
Oh, man, it's so exciting, man.
Fine. I'll go 5 to 1. 5. It's a tie between Jordan Love and CJ Stroud.
Damn, will you give me that, please? Somebody.
Hold up, I'm not done yet. I just started.
Somebody, man.
I got Dak at 4.
The moment he said the other quarterback from Texas, he was like, forget it.
I got Dak at 4. 3, I agree, Josh Allen. I do have to agree with Josh Allen. 2, Patrick Mahomes. And then 1, as the reigning MVP, Lamar Jackson.
The disrespect, man.
If we're
Patty won a Super Bowl.
If we're going based off their performance of last year, then Lamar has to be 1. Even though if let's say for example, Tua throws for 10,000 yards in a season, but he doesn't win the championship, but Josh Allen throws for 2,000 yards and wins the Super Bowl. You're gonna tell me that Josh Allen performed better than Tua did? No. So just putting that out there. I got Lamar at 1.
You can't deny Lamar, man.
I'm not
I mean,
Lamar. I'm just
happy
saying.
feet. The guy is everywhere on the field. He runs with the ball, throws it perfectly across his chest as well on the run.
I'm just saying. Patty comes in clutch.
He does.
I don't think Lamar has been able to do that yet.
Well, Lamar hasn't had Kelsey on his team as a receiver. So
True.
He had Des Bryant and he had Odell Beckham Jr.
Des Bryant at what age?
Bro, that's an argument, bro. Des can still ball.
But not at the professional level.
What do you mean?
Well,
He's probably balling out in Ontario right now. That's probably what it is.
Bro, it's been like a decade since he's last played, bro.
I'm not saying now. I'm saying when he was with the Ravens, he could still ball out.
Look, if I could say anything about Des Bryant, he caught that ball.
Thank you. I was robbed. We could have gone to the Super Bowl that year. We would have played Seattle, which we had already beaten Seattle at Seattle that year, and then we would have played New England, which I'm sure we would have mollywopped New England.
Hey, I'm a big Tony Romo guy, man. That was my all-time fantasy league quarterback. So I wanted that to happen.
Man,
I did, but
he was playing great that year. And DeMarco Murray, no one in the league had an answer for DeMarco Murray that year.
And then he left.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the Titans, bro.
We ended up drafting, Dak and Ezekiel Elliott. And Ezekiel Elliott and Dak had a tremendous rookie year.
Facts.
That rookie year was insane for both of them.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, man.
Hey, they could redo it again now with this season.
I never thought we should have got rid of him, but I'm happy he's back.
Yeah, well,
happy he's back. We'll get a little.
Pollard gone. Boy, you better hope Collins doesn't sign with the Ravens or the Seattle Seahawks, bro.
You really thinking that losing Tony Pollard is gonna be a problem for us?
No, not a problem, but since it was Zeke and Tony Pollard, but since you lost Tony and now you have Zeke.
Oh, but
there's really a 1-2 punch with them. Like Zeke would finish the goal lines and get into the touchdown, but Tony Pollard would give you that speed in the middle of the field.
I like the guys. I like the guys we've got right now. It still has to be seen. It will be a 1-2 punch like it was with Pollard and Zeke. But I think the guys that we have right now, I'm telling you, do not sleep on Deuce Vaughn. Do not sleep on the kid. He may be small, but he's got speed. Jonka knows. Jonka has seen it.
No, the kid's a cockroach.
I mean, I wasn't going to describe him as that, but sure.
He'll get in these little cracks and goes, and you won't catch him.
And then you got to kind of go down to grab him.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man. But anyways, talk about quarterbacks. This was our plug of the week today, and it was Russell Wilson and Justin Fields getting into starting a whole brawl at training camp because Justin Fields reportedly told Russell Wilson that he was the most expensive backup in the league and that he should be making subs at Subway. I'm sorry, man. I do not blame Russell Wilson for any moment for going at him. Obviously, as a leader, you got to keep your composure. But the man has won a Super Bowl. What the hell has Justin Fields done to be talking all that smack? I think he just wanted to start something. I think he just wanted to make things entertaining and spice things up a little bit in Pittsburgh. Because why the hell would you be saying the guy's won a Super Bowl? He's married to Sierra. What else do you want? I mean, yeah.
It's a crazy stat to put up.
Yeah, what else? Didn't do good in Denver, but guys won a Super Bowl. What did Justin Fields do except make Soldier Field look bad? Come on.
Okay, he may have not married Sierra, but it is a little bit of a look. I'm gonna say this. This is all a piece of report. I didn't believe it all at first because make subs at Subway is just dangerous to even say. And that's not even a pun intended to his dangerous sub. But I'm telling you, though, I think that the whole deal of Pittsburgh going out of their way to not only get Fields, but as well Russell Wilson in the offseason made no sense. And this is one of those moments of the reason why it didn't make any sense. I mean, you got a whole out brawl because you got two big competitive guys. Both guys haven't really been away from the starting role at all through college or professional life for either of them. And now you're trying to tell me that, oh, well, I'm pretty sure one of them is going to sit behind A-OK about it throughout the entire year. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. This is probably a brawl that's, this not the start of something. It's probably the continuation of what's going on behind closed doors in Pittsburgh. I think this is a real issue out there. And again, we've seen brawls all across training camp, but mostly during practices. In the quarterback room, that's an issue right there.
Yeah, I'm going to say Pittsburgh kind of asked for this because you're bringing in two guys that really haven't sat the bench, like you said, Brandon. Like, I feel like that is a recipe for starting a fight.
It is.
Whoever made that decision, you either wanted to sit back, eat your popcorn, and watch this show, or you just made a really bad decision.
Listen, bro, like this I kind of expected because you have two former quarterbacks from other teams that were starters, and now they're on the same team. One's gonna have to be a backup, and I think it's gonna be Russell Wilson as the starter. But Justin Fields, he knows that both of them are kind of on a hot seat, where if Russell Wilson doesn't perform as he used to, he might be on the bench, and then Fields will be on the starting role. And then if he doesn't perform well, the Steelers are going to be in really shallow water, and it's going to be really bad. So I think things are going to get a little bit heated this year if Russell doesn't really step up his game, because we saw last year with the Broncos, it wasn't really going too well until like the second half of the season. So they're tiptoeing in really hot water, bro. I'm telling you that right now. This is going to be interesting to see. And the Steelers they've never had a losing season with Mike Tomlin. So could it be this year if these problems continue to arise? We shall see. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for me because they are kind of like my rival in a way. The Steelers and the Patriots always have had that little battle between them. So I'm happy to see that they're having some turmoil right now. So
listen, I would love to give an opinion who I think would be the starter. I just think the one thing I have in my mind is if Russell Wilson is anything like he was in Denver, Justin Fields is going to be the starter.
that's my point. Yep. There you go. On the money.
I would say one thing about it, though. One guy was the issue in their last team. The other guy was the only thing good about their last team.
True facts.
You connect the dots wherever you want to go, but I'm pretty sure you guys know where I'm going with this. Justin Fields should be the starter based on talent. Russell Wilson will be the starter based on namesake.
Not even salaries. I think the only reason why Russell Wilson would be the starter is because of veteran experience and leadership. But other than that, Brandon, like I'm leading your way. Like I think Justin Fields should be the starter.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, again, and I'm not saying anything negative. Like Russell could still play an elite level, right? But it's just insane, though. I mean, especially for Justin Fields, where you're replaced by Caleb Williams, obviously a better product. But at the same time, they never really helped you out. So to be in this situation now in Pittsburgh, I don't know if Justin Fields will ever get a break. Unfortunately, though.
And for me, the whole thing of Pittsburgh has never had a losing season. I mean, that's great. Like, you're mediocre and you make it to the playoffs and then you're a first-round exit. So, like, what's really so great about that?
Hey, all I need is for Brandon agrees with that. That's all I needed with that because the Dolphins have been the exact same way.
Yeah. I mean, actually, funny enough, I saw a clip of, like an old CBS, like, Baltimore versus Cincinnati 2014, and they showed the freaking, I swear to you, it's like as Christmas Day, the graphic of look at the wild card spot here. The Dolphins 8-7, 7-8, on the brink of making the wild card. This one of these teams need a win to. It was like that for every single year under Ryan Tannehill era, every single year. So for Pittsburgh fans right now, I know they're feeling it, but trust me, I felt that for a little bit.
Do you think this experiment's going to work out?
I would say give it time. I like the overall product of Pittsburgh. I think that Watt's an elite talent. Pickens is a good talent at wide receiver. Like, they got themselves guys at a young age where they can be in their prime in the next few years. The question is, who's the quarterback in the next few years?
Let me throw something hot into the mix. And this was a report today, and I sent it to our group chat, I believe, that Ayuk is very keen on Pittsburgh. If you add Ayuk into the mix, what does that do for that team?
It basically says whichever quarterback can throw the ball better is going to be having. You're going to have George Pickens. You're going to have Ayuk, and then Najee Harris in the backfield with either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson throwing the ball. And I forgot who they're – Pat Freiermuth. That's right. That's the tight end. So they got weapons. Now, who's going to be the guy to throw the ball? I don't know. But I will know this, though. I think Justin Fields can extend the play better than Russell Wilson at this moment in time.
I agree with that. But in terms of throwing and accuracy, I'm going to have to go – if you're trying to get the ball downfield to Ayuk, I might have to say Russell Wilson. Because I feel like – listen, Brandon, listen to me. Justin Fields is another one of those mobile quarterbacks that just likes to run and likes to take off and get the yardage downfield with his feet. I can see Russell Wilson being the more stationary, passer in the pocket and trying to get the ball downfield.
Russell Wilson had Jerry Jeudy. No, you got to hear this. Russell Wilson had Jerry Jeudy, Sutton, and you could – honestly, I don't even remember the rest of the wide receiver core over there, but they were all deep, vertical guys. Russell cannot use a single one of them. And it got to the point so bad where Jerry Jeudy had to leave. I don't think Russell's finding guys in the pocket.
So let me ask you this question. What do you think the drop-off was from him in Seattle to him in Denver?
Him leaving Seattle? I mean, let's just be honest, though. He's been there since, he was at Seattle since his rookie year, and it's not just the Russell Wilson show when they won those championships, Legion of Boom or Doom or whatever you want to call it. And then you also have, Marshawn Lynch. You also have a majority of the guys who are the star Pro Bowler guys on defense. What were the receivers on that team? What was the O-line on that team, right? Was it really just Russell? I mean, of course, Lockett was there, no doubt. But, I mean, how many teams has Russell Wilson have where he's the only Pro Bowler or he's the only guy on offense that can do something on offense? You know what I mean? He goes to the Denver Broncos. Denver's looking for a quarterback for God knows how long. Elway still can't find one right. And what happens? He has these young receivers that are unproven, and he tries to do something where he can't even locate a guy instead of getting intercepted. So, just saying, the moment he left Seattle, his career has gone downward since then.
I can't disagree with you. I really can't. But somewhere in there, Russell Wilson of old is there. I'm just saying, it might or may not happen. We'll have to see. But if it's Russell Wilson of old, he definitely could be that stationary passer. I just personally don't like the guys that have that style of Cam Newton or even the style of Robert Griffin III that even Lamar a little bit. Even though Lamar's great and I love Lamar, they're not really I'm a deep bomb kind of guy. It's more of I'm going to pick up the yardage and make plays by running. So, I don't know. When you have a deep threat like that, I don't know if that style kind of suits having a deep threat.
I mean, with as bad as the O-line for the Steelers is, you're having a dual threat quarterback is actually kind of a need. Because if the wide receivers can get open for any reason whatsoever, you need to extend the play in a hurry and you need to scramble. Justin Fields is probably the best guy for the job at the moment.
I agree. I think if you have a guy who can do both, that's amazing. That means you're a perfect quarterback. But we've had talks about Justin Fields ever since his Ohio State days, his days in Chicago, on his accuracy. So I don't know.
But the Bears suck though. That they didn't have any weapons for him.
I understand you have any weapons, but if you can't get the ball accurately to whoever you have, it can be Joe Schmo being a wide receiver. If you can't put the ball in his hands because you overthrew him or underthrew him, which has been a talk again about Justin Fields throughout his career ever since college, a little bit of an issue. I'm not saying he's not the right guy for the job. I still agree with Brandon and you, Jonka, that I think that he should be the starter.
All I know about Justin Fields is it just sends me back in memories to when they played the Dolphins and he nearly beat them by himself.
That was a scary game. I remember that game.
Brandon, don't take that. Don't let him pick on you.
But it's true though.
No,
I was
like
sweating that game, bro.
But
look,
actually,
Justin Fields right now is swapping hands with Russell Wilson while the Dolphins are focusing on a division title. So I think I'm gonna be okay. I think I'll live.
hey, Jonka, don't forget about Will Levis.
Yeah.
Bro, it's just that one game, and again, I know very off topic, but Will Levis legacy game, I pray it's its last.
Brandon,
I pray it's its last.
I've been there. Cowboys went to Denver and Trevor Siemian became God. It's okay. It happens. It happens to the best.
You guys with the most forgettable last names. It's terrible.
Yeah, like Hauser and Pritchard. Anyways, talking still about football. It's a big football night. Tyreek Hill gets a contract extension. Brandon, do you want to talk a little bit about what you have been seeing from Tyreek and just the team in general in training camp?
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially for Tyreek himself, just to even go off the first point, his agent and him has been very vocal throughout this entire process. I think it's Drew Rosenhaus. I think it's how you pronounce the last name.
Yep.
But we're talking about an additional $90 million additional rework contract for the next 3 years, 60-something million guarantee. Is the most ever by anyone in the NFL without even additional years. So the fact we didn't get any additional years, kind of a loss to the Dolphins, but at least they get that job done. But Tyreek has been phenomenal off the bat. Him and Skylar Thompson looks really great together, of course, with Tua as well. And Tua, the one thing that I found really curious about this offense, especially with how Tua is moving forward with this new contract, is the fact that they got Jonnu Smith, FIU alum.
Yep.
They got him not only playing near the line of scrimmage as a blocking and receiving tight end, also on the outside. He'll be on the far left. Smith will be on the far right. They'll have the guys doing routes like that, either 15 yards deep inside flat or just vertical stuff. But it's a really interesting offense I'm seeing for the Dolphins. The only thing poor out of camp for them offensively is the O-line. I think Aaron Brewer still needs some time at center. Obviously, Connor Williams, that fix will not be, built in a day like Rome. The secondary seems insane. And for those viewers out there who have, recently plugged in to training camp, the one name, Quentin Bell, has been all over the grass, all over training camp in Miami Gardens. The linebacker is insane. The hype is real. I've seen it myself. He actually got the orange jersey today on the mic, and not a lot of guys who were on the practice squad last year were able to do that for really anyone's team. So Quentin Bell has been taking a lot of advantage with Bradley Chubb and Phillips not playing at all during training camp. But the linebacker group seems well. Pass rush seems well. And just kind of to recap everything, unless you're the O-line, you probably have a good camp if you're the Miami Dolphins.
I think signing this extension of Tyreek and reworking the contract. Listen, I think that the Dolphins organization kind of elevated a little bit and turned the page and became competitive and in talks once Miami signed Tyreek. Once they got Tyreek, I think that's where it all changed. And obviously, I mean, there's not much to say about the guy. You just look at what he does on the field and just look at his stats and obviously his speeds. And you didn't talk about what he's done in the Dolphins. Look what he did with the Chiefs. I think he makes any quarterback look good. So there's not much to say on my end. I think it's fantastic news that the Dolphins are bringing back Tyreek. The only thing I'll say is, do you think he'll retire in Miami?
I would believe so. And again, a hell of a 48 hours as well, being also voted top 100 from his peers.
Yep.
So, but I think he would retire a Dolphin. I mean, the life of an NFL player, let alone wide receiver, those guys usually don't surpass 35, and Hill's already 30 as we speak right now, I think.
Yep.
So for him to retire anyone else would be unfathomable, if that's even a word or the right way to say it.
Yeah.
Unfathomable, just even think about.
Jonka?
I mean, for this contract extension and restructuring is actually good for the Dolphins. But as if when he decides to retire, it will be for the Dolphins. But I think this extension until whatever it lasts, I think that will be his last year. I don't think he's going to play any longer than wherever his last year ends. I think it's 3 years from now. I think that's when he's done. So I think the Dolphins, as of this now, after doing this restructuring, they're in win now mode. So I think with all these pieces they have now, and I'm assuming throughout these next 3 years, they're going to try to fix the O-line and the D-line because of all these injuries and stuff. But yeah, they need to get it done now. This is win now mode, bro. If you can't win with Tyreek and Waddle and everybody else, it's gonna be kind of tough to win at all. And you don't want to do a whole rebuild on the wide receiver room. So
I mean, you have the fastest wide receiving core in the NFL.
You do.
And what you said for Jonnu Smith, I would like to see a 2 tight end setup where use them as blockers and maybe give Mostert and Achane some room to run.
No, they've actually done it with Smythe a little bit. Actually, because you were speaking about fastest guys. One guy I want to shout out because they just came up with the depth chart, the first one of this year. Anthony Schwartz, Pembroke Pines native, American Heritage football alum. The guy is on the depth chart, and he's one of the receivers and returners with Braxton Berrios. So want to give credit to that. Basically has Olympic speed as we, talk about this timing right now after the 100 meters. But yeah, I think that the Dolphins themselves, and especially as John was talking about, where they have these guys on lock. I mean, basically Tua, Mostert, Waddle, and Hill all together through 2026 guaranteed. So it's definitely a now or never. I mean, at least win a division, win a playoff game, show that you're on the right path, but definitely now or never.
And again, you guys, if you want to keep plugged into training camp, you can follow Brandon. He's got content on there every single day on training camp. And ourselves as a team all together, we'll be all together twice this week. Wednesday at training camp and Friday at the preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons. So you'll be expecting some content from us on that. It's going to be fun and it's going to be great. And we're moving on to the last topic of the night, and that is Miami Freedom Park, the future home of Inter Miami CF, has now been delayed until 2026. Gentlemen, this date keeps getting further and further and further and further and further. Even when you hear all the lies that we've heard, oh, it's going to be open in 2025 or it's going to be open in 2024. It keeps on getting pushed back. And I could tell you, ownership kept pushing for 2025 and saying, oh, it's going to be 2025. But when you pass by there and you go to the Miami International Airport and you look at the ground, you're like, there's no way this is going to be done by 2025. I mean, you can just tell. There was also season ticket reps that were talking to, their season ticket members that were saying, yeah, we're taking deposits for next year, 2025, here at Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. And people were like, oh, okay, so I guess we're not going to be at Miami Freedom Park for 2025. If you're telling me that, and they weren't really confirming nor denying, but I think them telling you that, I think that says it all. And I won't be surprised. I will not be surprised if this project gets delayed even more. So, and there's a big possibility that when 2026 rolls around, Messi may or may not be on the field with Inter Miami.
Yeah. I mean, they're building it next to Miami International Airport. Can't really rush a project like that. So,
yeah.
As long as Leo Capana's on that field by that year, I'll be in the seats. Even with his new hair, I don't know if you guys saw his haircut, man. I want the curly hair, man. I want the long stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but man, number 9, long hair Leo was best Leo. All right, and I mean the real Leo. All right, so I'm missing that. As long as he's there, as long as somehow, some way they bring back Lewis Morgan, I'll be in the stands. But frankly, I probably wouldn't even be shocked if it's 2027 we get to see a field, a pitch, maybe, you know? I mean, this is a massive project, and again, it's going to be a long-haul project.
Yeah.
I agree with Brandon that it's next to an airport, and there's going to be some sort of guidelines with all the airlines and all the airplanes running around and security, whatever it is. I'd expect they'd want to have the stadium ready by the World Cup if they want to have that open just for visiting purposes, or maybe they want to use the park as for one of the games or whatever. But as for the end of by 2025, maybe the end of 2025, heading into 26, maybe that's a possibility. But like the start of 2025, there's no way there's no way in 6 months that's gonna happen. So, and by what Daniel said for Messi still being there, I don't think he'd stay in this club for another 2-3 years. That'd be a stretch. Now, I don't know if Messi really likes Miami that much. I mean, that much. But, I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I would like to see Messi at least play the inaugural game and then, you know, just finish off the season like that or his career like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's so much that goes into making a stadium. You can't rush things like that. There's safety issues, precautions, and I'm guessing the Miami-Dade commissioners are being a pain in the butt like they always are. Like how just getting the approval for this stadium was. I feel like they're still doing it, trying to hold up this team. I'm tired of like deciding whether or not to drive all the way to Casa Carajo in Fort Lauderdale. Bro, like I want to drive 20 minutes and I'm there.
It ain't going to be, and that was one of my concerns, it ain't going to be 20 minutes with that layout they got over there going on. That's going to be a major problem that they got to figure out.
Bro, I'm going to have to buy a tent, get there 3 hours early, and just sit on the sidewalk and just wait for the game to start because there's no way. And yeah, you got to set up like a new exit for players and buses for the players or whatever, the people, the fans, just to get to the stadium. So there's so much infrastructure going on with this project that I can understand why they would extend it, but I don't need them to be in a hurry. There's no need for hurry, bro. Like nobody really cares if you have a World Cup game in that stadium. Like it doesn't really matter, bro. Like just get it done when you get it done, and we won't care. Like we really don't care to me. Like it's Inter Miami. It's gonna be our team no matter what. Just get it done whenever you can get it done.
Yeah, and if they can't get it done in Broward County. They got the land for it already. Just, demolish it. Get rid of the little airport there. Make Broward home, all right? The Panthers did it. They left Miami, went to Sunrise. They won a championship. Inter was already got a championship out of Broward. They ain't get another one. The MLS Cup this time around, of course. But if Freedom Park folds, we'll go north.
We're not supporting the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, okay?
Go Strikers, guys. Come on. We love history. We love history. So.
Oh, boy. Well, anyways, that's going to be all the time that we have tonight on Plug Talk Sports. This has been episode 148. Again, guys, Stay tuned for all the content this week. We'll be at Miami Dolphins training camp on Wednesday. And, of course, we'll be at the first preseason game on Friday night at Hard Rock Stadium against the Atlanta Falcons. If you see us, shout out. Give us a shout out. And, again, stay tuned to all of our content. Again, we appreciate all of the support, and we hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next week for a new episode.
Support the troops.